Y'all, this is absolutely horrifying. Sleepwalking can be both dangerous and embarrassing, and it almost killed this Wisconsin mother who nearly choked to death. 41-year-old Christian Owens started sleepwalking as a side effect of the postpartum anxiety medication after the birth of her 15-month-old daughter. But soon after she was prescribed that medication and she started taking it, she found that she started sleepwalking, and that led her to eating in her sleep. And this happened once while she was stuck in a complete dream state. Christian unknowingly ate literally a whole box of Little Debbie Swiss rolls before she headed back to her bed. But she did not chew them properly because, well, she was asleep, and part of the cake began to suffocate her. She was literally minutes from her death when her 84-year-old grandmother named Linda woke 4 hours later to find Christian out of bed and she had blue lips. Linda quickly began CPR on her granddaughter to try to save her life, and reportedly she was a retired nurse and she performed CPR on Christian for 6 minutes, and she ended up breaking 3 of her bones or ribs. It was said that Christian didn't chew the pastries properly or fully this time, and the Swiss rolls traveled to her lungs instead of her stomach. That's called aspiration, which causes trouble breathing and can be fatal if not caught in time. She stated it's like it just went down the wrong pipe, and that caused her to suffocate, and then her heart stopped, and that's just super scary. Reportedly, Christian is one of millions of Americans who suffer from this sleep-related disorder. I had never heard of this, and that involves a person preparing and or eating food while they are asleep, and they won't have any memory of it. Doctors have called this a horrible condition to have because it has a terrible impact on one's life. It causes them to gain a lot of weight and have a lot of mental distress. Sleep eating is described as parasomnia, which is unusual behavior one does during sleep, like walking or talking or having night terrors. Some even engage in sexual activity in their sleep. Christian fully believes that this was a side effect of her postpartum medication, and according to some medical experts, medications that put people into a sleepy state can trigger this disorder and cause other parasomnias. She stated that the medication would make her really sleepy and she'd wake up in the middle of the night but not know she was awake. She stated this wasn't the first time this had happened to her, eating in her sleep. It was just the first time it went really wrong. Christian remembers waking up in the ICU after this incident. It was said she spent several days there where a ventilator was breathing for her. She also stated that she had a little bit of brain damage to her short-term memory, so it made her hard to memorize and remember certain things, but other than that, she made a full recovery, luckily. Medical professionals estimate that between 1% and 5% of American adults have some form of this disorder called parasomnia, and that's roughly a range of 2.5 to 13 million people. One doctor stated that when people eat in their sleep, it's because their brain craves food. It satisfies the body's need for gratification, and that includes really processed foods like cake, candy, and chips. So in other words, junk food. Doctor also stated that people don't have any control or restraint over this when they sleep. That in turn causes lots of weight gain and mental distress. This disorder is able to be treated by preventing access to food at night, like with locks, and managing stress and having good sleep behavior and hygiene. 6 years after this incident, Christian is alive and well, and so is her sweet grandmother, who is now 90 years old. She stated she's still here because of her grandmother, and she is so incredibly thankful, and that her grandmother has always been her hero, but that this incident just took it to another level. Do you guys have any of these disorders? I occasionally have sleep talking. I've never walked, though, in my sleep that I know of. And after my dad died by taking his life and telling me he was about to do that, I started suffering from night terrors. But I've gotten much better with those, luckily. They were horrible. Luckily, they started calming down, but I would wake up in the middle of the night just screaming and just in a complete panic. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to give me a follow. And please, when you get a chance, visit www.truecrimewithmegan.com.